So hello and welcome back to Go Again Gaming and another game here in the League That Means Nothing Season 3. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to all these episodes that have been released so far. It's been great seeing the comments for Ian's commentary, and Ian will be back very, very soon to present more of these. But in the meantime, you've got me, the creator, the procurer, the organiser of this league, the editor, and sometimes caster as well. But yeah, an interesting game for us today. We've got Lynette Natras on Azalea, and a very strange Azalea build at that, with a couple of awesome interactions in this game. And we've got Matthew McInnes on Aurora, so should be fun. Now, from the Azalea games that I've played into a lot of the rune blades that are out there at the moment, the meta, in the meta, it's quite difficult to overcome the speed at which the rune blades will fire things at you, as well as the fact that they are coupled with a huge armor suite that can prevent a lot of your interactive turns where you do need to get that interaction through. So we'll see how it goes. Let's get down to the table. Before we do, let's hear a quick message from our sponsors. Another sponsor for The League That Means Nothing Season 3 is Az here talking about Void Games out of Crewe in Cheshire. Tom, Big Boss Book Club on Twitter, does run this shop, and he's had some fantastic events so far. He's had Skirmish Season, of course, the ProQuest as well that we streamed on Go Again Gaming. So just a fantastic shop that's got a lot going for it, and in the future it's going to have a lot more events as well, hopefully going forward. So make sure you go and check them out when you can. Pop in the store. It's a great little shop. There might be some images or videos flashed up here for you, but thanks for Tom for sponsoring The League That Means Nothing Season 3 and being an advocate for just casually gaming in all forms of different systems and different tabletop games. So yeah, cheers Tom, and let's get on with the tournament. So we have Lynette going first, which can work in Azalea's favour because she does have a few things, including the Dominate that you can get off the top to really force through some on-hits and some early damage here. I believe Matt did win the die roll and has opted for Azalea to go first, and this is exactly what you like to see as an Azalea player on turn 1. But the funny thing is here is that Lynette is using Red Liner, which is a bow that we haven't seen a lot of, and only in the League That Means Nothing, folks, let's be honest. Red Liner, a bow that says, basically, for 0, it costs nothing to activate, put a card, or put an arrow face up into your arsenal from your hand. So, just allowing you to be greedy at some points, but obviously, it's not a card that we see a lot of. But we are seeing a Knock the Death Whistle tutor up for a Red in the Ledger, and of course we are going to see Lynette reload a card from that knock, which can now be accessed through Azalea activation here to get the Red in the Ledger into the arsenal with Dominate. And yeah, this is going to be coming in at Matt with Dominate. Matt sporting the shitty Christmas present Matt, which is a lovely old job. In the Christmas spirit, of course. Lynette sporting a Tri-Shot playmat, nice to see. And we are going to see a Seek and Destroy on the back of this Red in the Ledger, so that is going to be coming in for 8 with Dominate and threatening a multitude of on-hits, including the 1 action next turn, and the fact that Matthew is not going to be able to arsenal any cards or keep any cards in hand because of the Seek and Destroy trigger. So will this hit? It's likely it probably will do. But despite Red in the Ledger really affecting aggro decks, Aurora can sometimes work through that with a lot of the instants that she has access to. So there's a couple of attack reaction-esque instants that can really throw a spanner in the works, even for Red in the Ledger, like things like Lightning Press and sort of electromagnetic discharge. Not discharge, is it discharge? I think it is, yeah, which are instants which can still buff things. So you can still go a little bit tall with Aurora, even on Red in the Ledger type turns. So it's going to be interesting to see how Matt responds with this Red in the Ledger being hitting him for 5 over that 3 block. And of course, he's only going to have 1 action now next turn, and the Seek and Destroy trigger will happen as well. So it means he's going to have to discard his hand and arsenal, so not going to be able to keep any cards on this turn. And taking 5. Lynette happy to just fire that dominated Red in the Ledger and not keep an arsenal for next turn, because it's quite a strong on-hit. However, that is one of Azalea's powerful things that she can do. And at this point in the game, Matt is just happy to just throw out a Lightning Surge, trade a little bit of damage here. And it's not one of those cards that you're probably going to block as Azalea, wanting to try and keep the tempo in your favour. Continue on the play, continue dominating, continue interacting. And yep, Lynette's just going to say, yep, that's fine, I'll take 4, and that's pretty much it. And then Matt is going to prevent the cards in his hand from being destroyed by pitching into Aurora's ability. Now, Aurora is turned on because Matt's played a Lightning card, which is the Lightning Surge. So that's pretty good use of the fact that Matt is going to have to discard all cards in hand and arsenal at the end of this turn anyway. So just making the use of the cards here very, very wisely to make sure that nothing is really lost. And obviously we've got a embodiment of lightning gained as well, and that sticking around from turn to turn is very, very dangerous. It can give go again to anything, which is very, very powerful when you couple it with things like E-Strike and Command and Conquer and all those extremely powerful generics that don't inherently have go again. Embodiment of lightning just saying, yep, we'll give it go again, we're fast, we're lightning. And that's it. Matt's going to just draw up and pass. Lynette's going to tick up the tunic to number 2, and off we go. Red liner, just not really seeing that often at all. We're going to say a take aim be played here, reloading a card into the arsenal, which he's then going to use with cross wrap to flip it up to have a look at the top card. That's a nice little interaction with the old Arcane Rising buff there, being able to reload something in face down, flip it up with cross wrap if you haven't established an arsenal from the turn before. And we are going to see an Azalea activation, opting for that Endless Arrow, leaving it on top, activating Azalea, going to get this Endless Arrow dominate, currently at 7 power because of the take aim. Going to be interesting to see what Lynette plays here. And wow, what a strange card! Rapid Fire. Until end of turn, arrows you control gain go again and reload. So this Endless Arrow is now coming in with 7 go again. If it hits, return it to hand. That will allow, if it hits, it will allow Lynette to put it back into the arsenal with Red Liner and then fire it again. Obviously, as Rapid Fire just gives all of your arrows go again for the turn. So this really, really incentivized blocking, which I think Matt is very much happy to do so, with the Runeblade armor suite here. And this is one of the things that is hard to really get through with Azalea, is when you need something to hit, when you need something to happen, Runeblades are just like, yep, okay, I block with my huge fridge and just carry on. And as we can see there, that is exactly what Matt did. Still has access to things like Crown as well to really just block even more interaction. But we are going to see a Ravenous Rabble come in for 4 with Go Again, revealing a Flittering Charge. So the embodiment of lightning is wasted on this, unfortunately, because Ravenous has Go Again anyway. So that says something a little bit about the hand composition of Matt's hand here, because why would you want to play a Ravenous Rabble with an embodiment of lightning cracking before it? It already has Go Again. So it says something about Matt's hand here. But yeah, throwing 4 nonetheless. And again, Ravenous Rabble is one of those cards that you're just like, oh, I just don't want to block this. It's just a bloody 0 for 4 with Go Again. Generic action from Arcane Rising that blocks for 2. You know, I never want to block this sort of card. So Ravenous Rabble really just translates to free damage in a lot of decks, and we're going to see Lynette probably take that damage as well here. Still deciding though, but Ravenous Rabble is just one of those cards that just says, I'm not going to block. But we are going to see a block here for 3, taking 1. So I was completely wrong in what I was just saying. But there we go. And then Matt's just going to play out a Sigil. Gain 3 life. Go up to 38. Lovely old job. Happy just to do a little dance here. Arsenal a card. And pass back over to Azalea, who is now operating with a Tunic available. 3 card hand, 1 Arsenal. So not much lost on Lynette's side of the field as a result of that attack there from Matt. And we are going to see the Skullbone flip up a Memorial Ground. Lynette having a peek at the top of the deck here to see what is on top, to see if we can access Azalea's ability. We are going to see a Memorial Ground be played instead, which will allow Lynette to put something on top of the deck, which is Red in the Ledger. And the great thing about Red Liner is you can still activate it and then switch it out with Azalea. Whereas with Death Dealer, you can't do that because you then just draw the card off top. So Memorial Ground does work with Red Liner because you can still use that line. You can still activate your bow, put something in, switch it out with Azalea, and then fire it, which is something that Death Dealer can't do with Memorial Ground. Because if you activate Death Dealer, you put something into your arsenal and then draw the card that you've put on top of Memorial Ground. So Red Liner can achieve the line here, which looks like Lynette's going to be doing. But that is something that you can do with Red Liner. You can just put cards into your arsenal from your hand for nothing, and that does synergize with Memorial Ground because it just turns any of your cards in hand into that dominate that you've just got for, that you've just searched for out of the graveyard. So, and that's probably what we're going to see here. Yeah, a Red Liner activation. Just going to be putting in a arrow, which is a Murkmire, and we are going to activate Azalea now by the looks of it. Yep, activating Azalea, getting that Red in the Ledger out, getting the Murkmire to the bottom, and that Red in the Ledger now has dominate. And this is exactly what we want to be doing, is just firing cards at Matt, trying to whittle down that armor as quickly as possible, because that's the main thing that really gets in the way. And we have to try and do that as quickly as we can, because Matt is going to start racing very, very soon. And this Red Ledger is dominated, coming in 4-5. We are seeing a Flittering Charge block, and here we go. We are seeing the full block here for 5. Flittering Charge only blocks for 2. So obviously we're seeing the extra 1 covered up for the Grasp and the 2 for the Crown. And Matt is going to trigger the Crown here as well to sink a card. And again, this is what I was saying earlier. Rune Blades can just lean on their armor when they need to, especially against these Red Ledgers that are only coming in for 5 in this case. It's just one of those things that Rune Blades really does have access to as a big armor suite, coupled with the fact that Aurora can navigate through Azalea's game states anyway, plus Aurora loves to race really quickly. So we are going to be off to the races very, very soon, I imagine, with all of these armors being used very, very early to stop these Red in the Ledgers. And we are seeing a Flittering Charge come in for 4. If you've played an instant card this chain link, it gets go again. So there's no instants right now, but I imagine we are going to see one. There's 3 cards there. Matt's got 2 in hand and 1 in arsenal. One of which is definitely probably going to be an instant. Definitely going to probably. That makes no sense. This is probably definitely going to be an instant. But there we go. So yeah, Flittering Charge currently coming in 4-4 with the threat of activation to go a little bit wider. Matt says, wait, hold on a minute. I am going to respond with 3 Lightning Valleys. What the absolute hell is going on here? Wow. 3 Lightning Valleys. Holy hell. Okay, so that Flittering Charge has go again, go again, go again. And now we are going to... Lynette has chosen not to block this as well, so we are going to be drawing 3 cards off of this Lightning Valley. Matt just blowing his load all at once. Just saying, yeah, why not? Let's just bank up these Lightning Valleys, charge up, and then suddenly, bang, we're off to the races. And this will probably set the precedent for the rest of the game, because obviously these Lightning Valleys will probably stick around if we can get some Lightning cards into the pitch zone this turn. But holy hell, that is definitely something that I've never seen before. And only on the league that means nothing. And only when Az is casting. Wow, I get to cast some fantastic games here today. But we are seeing the Starfall come in. Obviously, we're seeing the Grasp of the Arclight activation, then followed up by the Starfall here. So it's coming in for 1 and 2. With go again as well. Obviously, we do have 1 lightning card in the pitch zone, so that's going to keep 1 Channel Lightning Valley around at least. And Lynette is just going to take all of the damage here, go down to 28. Matt pitching another lightning card, which is the Arc Lightning, which is going to go into Aurora's ability to create an embodiment for next turn. And then that is pretty much the turn. We are going to see one of the Channel Lightning Valleys go away, and then 2 of them get flow counters because there's 2 lightning cards in the pitch zone, and Matt is going to establish an arsenal. And wow, okay, just like that, we have swung the game round into Matt's favour. With a 10 life differential, just gaining a little bit of life on that turn before, and then just coming in with a triple Lightning Valley is pretty devastating, and those are going to be effective next turn as well. So Lynette is going to start her turn here with the Skullbone Cross-Trap, flipping up a Bolton Shot, having a look at the top card to see what is coming next. We will see. But the key thing here is, as well now, is that Matt does not have much armor left. But look at the setup that armor has allowed him to get. That is absolutely insane. Triple Lightning Valley. I've never seen such madness. Lynette really thinking hard about what to do here. Using a point the tip. Interesting. So that's going to put an aim counter on the bolt and shot. But of course, more importantly, it's going to give it +3, which gives it go again as well. So is there going to be any additional synergies with the aim counter? Doesn't look like it, but still coming in for 7 with go again on this, which will obviously allow Lynette to reload a card from hand if it hits via bolt and shot on hit effect. Coming in for 7 damage. Matt just saying, yep, fine, no worries, I take 7. Matt happy to play for damage here, as he still has a life lead. Lynette just deciding whether she wants to reload off of this bolt and shot. Yeah, looks like we are going to see that reload. We've already activated the cross trap this turn, so we can't do that again, but we're going to see another rapid fire. Really interesting deck here. Love to see these very, very obscure cards being used, and we are going to see an activation of Azalea. Stone Rain going into the arsenal here, so that's a pretty cool card. I got to spoil that as part of the Azalea Armory deck. And we are going to see the Crow's Nest be used here with the Tunic trigger to make sure that that Stone Rain gets an aim counter on it, which makes absolutely 100% sense. So there we go. Stone Rain going to be coming in for 4 damage with Dominate with this aim counter on it, which will basically say, you're going to banish a card from your hand face down, you're going to get that back at the end of your next turn. That's basically what Stone Rain says. So it just essentially just allows you to get a little bit of extra room on your opponent, because they don't have as big hand size, because they have to banish one temporarily. So it stunts their turns a little bit. They do get to choose which one goes, but yeah, still pretty cool card. And yeah, that's what we're going to see now. We're going to see Lynette fire this Stone Rain at Matt for 4. We'll have Dominate because of the aim counter and Azalea's ability, of course. Coming in for 4. And Matt's probably just happy with this because he's got 2 Lightning Valleys out. Yeah, he's happy to take the damage here. The life is pretty much at parity, so Matt is happy just to play for that damage. He's gonna banish a card, which he's gonna get back anyway, but he's got 2 Lightning Valleys out, which means any source of damage is gonna draw him 2 cards. So this next turn is probably going to be pretty disgusting, making the use of those both the Channel Lightning Valleys out with a 4-card hand with the arsenal is going to be pretty nasty. But we are going to see, because that Stone Rain does have go again from the rapid fire, we are going to see an activation of Red Liner, and then we're going to see an immobilizing shot come in for 4 vanilla damage. Matt's just going to say, yep, that's fine. Again, playing for damage with a 5 life differential is absolutely fine when you have all of that board state, all of that Lightning Valley out. And yeah, happy to take that damage there. Immobilizing shot, not really benefiting from anything at all because it doesn't have a name counter on it. Would have made a difference probably if it had a name counter on it. Well, it would have done for 100%, but yeah, just acting as a 0 for 4 chain ender there. But this is scary. Okay, we have an Arc Lightning. So that's going to deal 1 arcane damage every time Matt goes again this turn. And obviously, every single instance of go again is going to threaten those 2 card draws on the Lightning Valleys, which is going to be insane. But Lynette choosing to pitch a red. And, you know, we've seen the deck so far, Red Liner. It's going to be quite a red-heavy deck, so it's going to be hard to really try and stop all of this. But an E-Strike coming in for 5 with Go Again and 1 ping because of the Arc Lightning, which is pretty insane. Does have Go Again as well because of the embodiment of Lightning cracking off, and he's chose to draw a card there, so that's really, really expertly set up. Embodiment of Lightning is just, again, giving these generic cards with all those other modes Go Again as standard is just absolutely insane. So, yeah, pretty nasty stuff. And, of course, the ping, which is going to be threatening Lynette here, is also threatening card draw because of Channel Lightning Valley. So it's just absolutely vile. We are going to see the block here on the E-Strike, but it looks like the 1 damage is looking like she's going to be taking it off of the go again for the arc lightning. That's what Matt's pointing out here, is that you also need to take the damage from this go again, and Lynette is going to be taking that damage, unfortunately, not being able to stop that effectively enough. Matt is going to draw 2 cards off of both the lightning valleys that he has established there. That is absolutely insane. So drawing 2 cards, going up to 4 in hand still against Lynette's 1. There's going to be a lot of damage leaked on this turn by the looks of it, and we are going to carry on with a Ravenous Rabble revealing a Sigil, so that's going to be 4 with go again. Basically 5 because of the extra arcane damage, and yep, Lynette's happy just to take that damage, go down to 22 life. Yep, which we're just establishing now. Obviously, it's just 5 damage basically because of the extra arcane. That's pretty insane there. Matt's going to carry on with an Entwined Lightning, fusing with a Lightning Press. So this again is going to have 4 damage, basically 5 because of the Arc Lightning. Every time it goes again, you ping. So this is another 5 damage that Lynette has to deal with over 2 separate sources of damage. And okay, we are going to be playing 2 Lightning Presses. Matt just having all of the instants, all of the time, dealing a 10 damage on this, plus the Arcane. Wow, Lynette going down to 11, and Matt's just going to crack the Aether Iron Weave here with the stuff that he has floating, just because it allows him to gain 2 resources and go again. What does that mean? It means Arcane, the Arc Lightning is going to ping 1 Arcane at Lynette's face again. So, wow, this is absolutely insane. This is what I'm saying. You know, when Runeblade, Lightning Runeblade especially, can pivot off of the armor and just be like, yep, I'm going to dump all of this damage into an Arc Lightning, Arc of War turn, is what they say. With 2 Channel Lightning Valleys out, it's just absolutely insanity. Really, really showing the power of Aurora in this particular matchup. Azalea hasn't really managed to interact quick enough with this Runeblade, and we are seeing that fully punished right now, unfortunately. But yeah, just cracking the Aether Iron Weave for 1 damage is exactly what's going to happen here. And we're just going to follow on with the Starfall again for 3 damage. 1 ping and 2 physical. That is insane. Obviously, the Starfall is getting buffed up by +1 because it does have a lightning card before it. So just another 3 damage there. That was an absolutely insane turn by Matthew McInnes. Yeah. Flashed up on screen here, Stone Rain Banish was forgotten, but it's picked up later. Yeah, as we can see in the top right corner of the screen, the card with the orange poker chip on it was the Stone Rain Banish, which Matt has forgotten to put back into hand in this particular turn cycle. But it is picked up again later. Lynette's response, or little salvo here, is Codex of Frailty, which is going to obviously create a Frailty under Matt's control and is going to get a card back into Lynette's arsenal. Obviously, this comes in face down, so obviously we can expect a Skullbone activation as well. She's choosing the Endless Arrow, and Matt is choosing... I missed that completely. I was looking at Lynette's side of the board there, but obviously Matt is choosing a card as well. Yeah, Ponder gets created, and of course the... over to Lynette is going to use the Cross Wrap to flip up the Endless Arrow that she's just established there, to have a look at the top card to see if that card is any better, or any better to try and access through Azalea's ability. But it doesn't look like it at the moment. We are just going to send in a naked Endless Arrow 4/4 coming in at Matthew's face. And he's just going to filter a little bit, just block this out 4/6 with 2 current funnels. Just making sure that those are gone. Maybe the hand that he's got at the moment is probably not good enough to really keep those blues around. So just saying, yep, okay, I'm happy to throw these away, prevent some damage, save my life a little bit, and then just act with a Flittering Charge coming in. And there is a moment here as well where I'm going to flash it up any moment now because I've already edited this. I already know what's going to happen here. Matt remembers the Stone Rain Banish. So basically what he's going to do here is he's just going to banish that card, not be able to play it. So that card would have returned to hand, which he would have arsenaled last turn. The turn that he blocked with the 2 current funnels. So he's just going to banish it instead and not be able to play it. Which is fair enough. These things happen. Matt's turn was so outrageous that he just forgot about the banish. He was just like, yeah, okay, I'm happy to lose this card, essentially, because that turn was absolutely disgusting. And rightly so. So, yeah, this Flittering Charge coming in for 4. If you've played an instant card, this Chain Link, it will gain Go Again. And here is Matt remembering that he needed to discard to the Codex last turn. So there we go. We're all square. No worries. Don't worry about that. But yeah, coming in for 4. Nothing else really going on here. But Matt is just happy to just coast for a little bit after that insane turn. The turn before. Absolutely outrageous. Never seen anything like it. 3 Lightning Valleys, double Lightning Press. It's all going off here in Aria. Azalea's wondering, why on earth did I come and visit Aria? This is absolutely insane. I'm just getting shocked all over the place. We're not in a dungeon anymore. We're in Vault Haven. And Azalea choosing to block all of this damage. A singular Flittering Charge buying the Tunic. I'm sure Matt's going to be happy with that. And that is pretty much it. We are going to see no Arsenal just passed. That Flittering Charge was played from hand, so the frailty doesn't really matter. And we are just going to carry on here with Lynette's turn. Going into her turn with a 3-card hand, 1 in Arsenal. We are going to start with the Skullbone Cross Wrap, which is going to reveal, well, opt a card, and she's going to choose what to do with it. And this is the window where, you know, Matt comes back at you with a Flittering Charge. You're happy to block with 1 card from hand in the Tunic. Maybe this is the turn where you can start trying to interact or trying to find the interaction, because there's not much. Well, there's no armor blocks anymore. We are going to see an Azalea activation. So is this the? Oh, okay, yeah, that's Judge, Jury, Executioner. That's interaction. That's definitely interaction. Needs a name counter though, so we are going to remember to put that on with the Crow's Nest in a moment, I'm assuming. So that's going to give it a +3. So that Judge, Jury, Executioner will come in for 8 when it is dominated. Obviously, it was dominated off the top for Azalea's ability, and here we go. Just remembering now the pitching for the Crow's Nest here. So of course, yeah, that's what was always going to happen anyway. It's just a bit of sequencing; it doesn't really matter. So this Judge, Jury, Executioner is still going to come in for 8 with Dominate, and when it hits, you can basically force your opponent to discard their whole hand bar 1 card. So that is pretty interactive. Coming in for 8, this could be the window that Lynette needs to get back into this game. She needed something like this, or Red in the Ledger, or something that just gave her a little bit of extra room to try and squeeze back tempo a little bit before it's too late. And we are going to see 1 singular block. And wow, Matt really does have a hand to deal with this, gaining 3 life. And then Electromagnetic Somersault as well. Return them to the owner's hand when the chain link resolves. Yeah, so that's just going to go back to hand after the Judge, Jury, Executioner trigger. I think that's how it works. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Yeah, Matt's just explaining now how it all works. But yeah, that's pretty cool. When the chain link resolves, that Electrostatic Shock is going to go back to hand. So that's well crafted. That is exactly what Matt needed in that situation to really stunt the Judge, Jury, Executioner turn. Matt's going to take 5 and go down to 21. He discards all but 1 card in hand. He doesn't have any cards in hand left apart from that 1. So the Electromagnetic Somersault is going to return that card from hand. And Lynette just suggesting that she wanted to crack Snapdragons during that turn, because there was a lot going on, which is fair enough. It's all sequencing. It's absolutely fine. The league means nothing after all. Redliner is going to be activated here to put in a Red in the Ledger, which again is a great card that you want to see to try and interact with your opponent in this part of the game where all their armor's gone. But we are going to see a double block here with Arc Lightning and the Electromagnetic Shock, or Electrostatic Shock, I should say, to block the rest of that damage out, which is fine. Lynette was happy to buy the entire hand of Matt McInnes there. So Matt is only capable of a salvo this turn, and that's going to come in the form of a Entwined Lightning, a card which is decent to have in your arsenal, because obviously it's a conditional go again, but it's a 0 cost nonetheless. So if you are under red in the ledger, if you don't have any hand like you have that you don't have right now, for instance, after having to fight through a judge, jury, and red in the ledger, this Entwined Lightning is just saying, yep, 0 for 4 out of the arsenal. Fine. Lynette having to block with a 2 block there and take 2 damage, that is a transaction that Matt is happy to deal with. And now we are seeing another rapid fire from Lynette, as she is still on the play here against Matt. That is going to allow her to reload a card if she wants to. She's going to reload a card, activate the Skullbone Cross-Trap to have a look at the top card. She's going to activate Azalea, so that's obviously an arrow on top, which is a Falcon Wing. Interesting. Bit of a waste, because obviously Falcon Wing already has go again. Rapid Fire is giving all arrows go again for the turn, and I'm sure she's very, very happy to see a Falcon Wing, though, because that was a hand of all buffs. Because obviously she got rid of the Premeditate in the arsenal there. Wow, okay, so it's an arrow at least. You're still firing something at Matt this turn, but this is just damage, which I'm sure Matt is happy to see at this point, just firing damage and blocking with Go in the Flash and another Electrostatic Shock, by the looks of it. So happy just to soak that up with 2 cards and respond with 2 cards. And Matt's happy to have those transactions right now because Lynette's on 5 life. So and here we go. This is a 5 damage card here, which is really, really good. A 0 for 5, because obviously you need that conditional lightning fusion, which he is fusing with Gone in the Flash. But a 0 for 5 spread over 2 sources of damage is exactly what Matt wanted to see there, and that's exactly the reason why he blocked with 2 cards, because he was happy to send back a lethal attack with the Arcanic Shockwave fusing with the Gone in the Flash. And that also telegraphs to Lynette that there is a Gone in a Flash in the arsenal, which is probably one of the most scary cards, apart from the Arc Lightnings and stuff that we saw earlier, that Aurora can really, really make use of. Gone in the Flash is absolutely insane when coupled with a lot of the instants that Aurora can access through the Lightning card suite and the Runeblade suite, etc. But yeah, back over to Lynette, who's on the play, and she really, really does need to find some interaction now, because playing for damage at this point in the game is just not going to work with the life differential as it is there. A 17 life lead between the 2 players. Trying to play for damage, you have to play for 21 points of damage, and that's going to be hard to get right now, so you do have to try and find a way in through the interaction, and she is going to go get an Endless Arrow. So maybe there isn't much resources in the hand to really make use of a Red in the Ledger or Remorseless or something. Have we seen all 3 Red in the Ledgers already? Maybe we have then, in that case. But not Death Whistle can still go and get things like Immobilizing Shot, which might give you a little bit of extra room. We have seen an Immobilizing Shot in the deck already, but Lynette choosing to go for Endless Arrow, maybe just to try and fill her arsenal at the end if this goes through, because Matt's probably not going to block much of this. So maybe that's the plan here, to just make sure you got an arsenal for the next turn. Obviously, we don't have the Skullbone anymore, though, so we can't flip it up to opt to try and find something. So this might have been the window where you try and go for interaction, but it's hard to play against Aurora. She's got so much stuff going for her, and I struggled in this matchup myself, to be honest. It's definitely a hard one. But yeah, coming in for 7, Matt's just going to say, yep, we're playing for damage. I don't care about that. That's fine, no worries at all. And Lynette's happy to just arsenal that Endless Arrow. Maybe that's the outcome that she wanted going into the next turn, but Matt is just not going to care about damage at this point. And here we go. This is absolutely insane. We're going to see a burn-up shock come through. So first of all, we are going to get pinged for 1 arcane damage to Lynette's face. And then any attack that hits is going to kill Lynette this turn. Whether that's a card that's being played or any hit is going to deal 4 damage from the burn-up. So this could well be the end here, with the burn-up on the stack, it is very dangerous card. Very dangerous card. Any attack hitting is going to deal 4 arcane damage, which is pretty insane. Pretty insane. So yeah, first of all, we have to deal with the arcane damage. We are going to be pitching a codex into this, so we are going to be preventing that arcane damage and floating 1 as a result. And now any time an attack hits this turn, we're going to be able to deal 4 damage. But we are going to be pitching into Aurora to get an embodiment of lightning. And then here we go. Here is the Gone in a Flash coming in for 4 with Go Again because of the embodiment, threatening the on-hit of 4 damage. So this is just stripping cards now. Because of the burn-up, it's just going to be stripping cards away. It's demanding 2 cards at least, because this deck doesn't look like it has any D-React, so you can't cover this up with 1 card. It needs to be 2 because of the breakpoint of 4. So that breakpoint of 4 means actually that's 5 damage. So if you block with 1 card which blocks for 3, I'm hitting you for 1. Burn Up is also hitting you for 4 arcane. That is game over. So this is buying 2 cards out of Lynette's hand. And there's probably going to be a reaction here with an electrostatic discharge, which is going to return that Gone in the Flash to Matt's hand. And the next attack that he plays this turn with cost 1 or less gets +3. That is pretty devastating. I think that's pretty much the game now, because the next Gone in the Flash that is played is going to be coming in for 7. But he's going to Starfall before that. He's going to Starfall before that. So this is also stripping a card from hand, because the burn-up matters on weapons too. Any attack that hits deals extra damage. And there we go. There's the Gone in the Flash for 7. Lynette's got 1 card left in hand. No, 0 cards left in hand. That is it. That is the game. He's got a lightning press just in case. Wow. That was over pretty quickly. We saw the power of Channel Lightning Valleys all being played at once. We saw the pivot off of the armor pieces, so a lot of the interaction that was fired early on was just blocked with armor, blocked with cards from hand at that time, and just setting up for that huge burst that we saw from the Channel Lightning Valleys, and the double lightning press as well at one point to really, really just sort of race to the end there for Matt. Really, really showcasing the power of Aurora. And Lynette just experimenting with cards like Red Liner and Rapid Fire. It's good to see those sort of cards. The League That Means Nothing is a place where a lot of people can just experiment and just have fun. So it's good to see those cards come out and be played every now and again. And maybe it's like a thought experiment. Maybe watching this video, you'll be like, oh, Rapid Fire exists. Interesting. Maybe I should make a deck. You know, that's what The League That Means Nothing is all about experimentation, having fun, and seeing games like that. Holy hell, 3 Lightning Valleys in 1 turn? All right, Matt, calm down. But yeah, thank you very much to everybody who's watching. Ian will be back very, very soon. But in the meantime, you are stuck with me on the casting. I hope you enjoy it. Make sure you like and subscribe. Do all that good stuff. At the moment of recording this video, we are still not at 2,000 subscribers, but maybe when this releases, we might be. But please make sure you like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Leave a comment section below if you enjoyed this game, enjoyed my commentary, and you're enjoying the league in general. It's taking a lot of time out of my life to just bring you this coverage, so I hope you enjoy it, and we'll see you do it all over again very, very soon here on the channel, Go Again Gaming, for The League That Means Nothing, Season 3. Goodbye.